Good morning, friends. Now that we have done the graphs, okay, so which are the different types of graphs you have done so far? We have worked with the bar graph. So I hope you remember what the bar graph is. The bar graph is a graph represented in the form of bars where the data on the x-axis is non-numeric or non-continuous. If the data is continuous, we go for a histogram. Histogram are of two types, one with varying width and one with equal width, and then we had done the frequency polygon. It is just a way to represent the graph. So histogram has got an area, frequency polygon is the area under the graph, and the area in both the cases are equal. Now we are going to try out a few sums. So look at this first sum. Look at this table. There is a political party which has won some seats. Party A has won 75 seats, Party B 55, Party C 37, and so on. So we have to represent this in the form of a graph. So you can see this data is non-numeric data. So we will choose the bar graph. Okay? How will we draw the bar graph? You already know. On your paper, you will draw an x-axis, a line, and a y-axis. Okay? On the x-axis, we will write the political party. So, political party. Right? Now, first we begin from 0, but it's not 0, this is line 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll take this first line to be the party A, second line the party B, leaving one gap, party C, a gap D, E, and F. So written the name of the political parties here. Now the seats one you can see the minimum seats are 10 and the maximum seats are 75. So if you go by the gap of 5, you go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75 will be a very long line. So a gap of 5 you can try out, you can check. Start with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. If it is too long, then we can go by 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Because the maximum is 75. So I took a gap of 10. You can even try a gap of 5. That depends on you. You have to choose. But when you choose, you will write down scale y-axis 1 centimeter equal to 10 seats. So because I have taken 1 centimeter as 10 seats, I have to write down the scale y-axis 1 centimeter is 10 seats. And now A has got 75. So 75 is between 70 and 80. So I get A as 75. Then the equal spacing B is 55. So between 50 and 60 comes B, which is 55. C is 37. So now how will you go for 37? There is a gap of 10 and there are 10 lines in between. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The seventh line will be your 37. Then D is 29. So 29 is one line below 30. 29. E is 10. So just 10. And F is 37. So again we have got 37 at the same height. So we have showed this in the form of bar graph. Now why did we use a bar graph here? We used a bar graph because this data is non-numeric and this data is numeric. So I took the non-numeric data. Now here you have the choice. Go by 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Then write the scale 1 centimeter equal to 5 seats. But if you go by 10, then 1 centimeter equal to 10 seats. So in this sum, we used a bar graph because a bar graph becomes easier to represent like this. Now let us move to the next sum and choose which type of graph we'll use for that. Okay, in the next question we are given length in millimeter and number of leaves. So the length in millimeter is 118 to 126 3 leaves, 127 to 135 5 leaves, and they have told us to make a histogram of this data. Now you can see we can make a histogram because this is also numerical data which is constantly increasing. 118 to 126, 127 to 135. So we have to make a histogram. But you know, in a histogram, the data has to be continuous. Here the data is not continuous. How do you know? It goes from 118 to 126, and from 126 it jumps to 127. So there is a gap of 126 to 127, there is a gap of 1. If you go 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 120, 126. So 126 it ends, but then there is a jump. And here it starts 127, 128 and so on. So you can see there is a gap. Now histogram should not be discontinuous, it has to be continuous. So how do we make this continuous? You can see there is a gap of 1. Okay? So the gap of 1 has to be divided into 2 equal parts. So we can see 127 minus 126. You can do this also. 145 minus 144, gap of 1. Divide the gap into 2 parts. So it is 1 by 2 or 0.5. So there is a gap of 1 and we want to fill the gap. What did we see? 126 here and 127. This class 118 to 126 ends here and 127 begins from here. So there is a gap of 1 in between. I want to fill the gap. So I will find what is the half of the gap. It is 0.5. So 126 I will increase by 0.5. So I reach here, but 127 I will decrease by 0.5. So I will do 126 plus 0.5 equal to 126.5, and here I will do 127 minus 0.5 also gives me 126.5. So how did I fill this gap? There was a gap of 1. I took 2 parts of the gap. The upper limit I increased, the lower limit I decreased. So it came exactly to 126.5. So what is to be done now? What you have to do is decrease the lower limit by 5. This lower limit 127 has to be decreased by 0.5 and the upper limit has to be increased by 0.5. So if we do the same thing, what will we get? 118 minus 0.5, so 117.5, and this 2 increase, so 126.5. 127 minus 0.5 will give you 126.5, and this will increase to 135.5. So now you carry on, so 135.5 minus 145.5. Right? You got 145.5 to 153.5, and here 153.5 to 162.5, 162.5 to 171.5, 171.5 to 180.5. So first step I have done is now I have shown this length as continuous data. So there was a gap from 126 to 127 which I have filled up by using this technique. So once we are done with this, now we can move to our histogram. Okay? So let's move to our histogram. So in the histogram, I will draw the y-axis, I will draw the x-axis, and where do I start? 117.5. So I have to do here what? 0.5, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, and 117.5 is somewhere here. So what technique I showed you, what you are supposed to do, we'll make a break called a kink. We'll make a break called a kink and shift it. So now I can begin where? 117.5. Okay. Now let us check the width. How much is this? 117.5, 126.5. Is the gap the same? You can check it out. 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 23, 24, 25, 26. A gap of 9. Check out here. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. A gap of 9. So all the gaps are equal. So I just jump 117. I can go for the equal spacings. 117, this is 126.5. I'm writing it below, the number is not fitting here. So then 135.5, this gap will be 145.5, this gap will be how much? 153.5. Now you can see this number, this line, I have written the number below because it is not fitting, but you didn't know to do that. You can write in the same line. Then we have got 162.5. Then we got 171.5 and 180.5. Okay, now the scale, number of leaves. Maximum are 12. So we can go by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 or 1, 2, we can also do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So scale y-axis 1 centimeter equal to 1 leaf. I've taken 1, so 1 leaf. So now 107.26.5 is 3. So we have got 3 leaves here. 3 leaves. Okay? Then we got 5 leaves. In the next column we got 5 leaves. You can see now this data is continuous. So when the bars touch each other, it is called a histogram. Then we got 9. Third case we have got 9. Then we got 12 in the fourth case. 12. Then we have 5 again. Then we got 4. Then we have got 2. So this is the histogram that we get, right? Now can you show this data by any other method other than the histogram? Yes, we can. With what? The frequency polygon. But how will you find the frequency polygon? You will have to go for the midpoint of these two. What are the midpoint? Can you tell me how to find the midpoint of this two? 117.5 plus 126.5 upon 2. You can find that 0, carry 1, 6 and 7 and 14, 4, carry 1, 2 and 1, 3 and 1, 4, and 244 upon 2 is how much? 122. So 122 is the midpoint. So exactly here in the middle of this you will get between 117 for 126.5 you will get 122. These are the midpoints exactly in the center. But what you have to do, you have to also take the midpoint on this side and here you have to increase the gap and get the midpoint here. So your histogram will be something like, so not histogram, frequency polygon. Now this sum has asked us to do histogram, but has also asked the question, can this data be represented by any other graph? We said yes, it can be represented by frequency polygon also, but frequency polygon doesn't start from here to end the 0 because you have to enclose the area. So look at this sum again. Whenever a histogram is asked to you, first thing you will continue, you have to check this. Is it continuous? Is it discontinuous? This is discontinuous. So because it was discontinuous with a gap of 1, we increase the upper limit by 0.5. We cut 1 into 2 equal parts of 0.5. We increase this with 0.5 and decrease this with 0.5. So we got a continuous class. And after we got the continuous class, we drew the histogram. Then the question asked, is there any other way to represent this graph? Then the answer is yes, we can show it by a frequency polygon. So I have done the frequency polygon in the same sum. The third question asks is it correct to conclude that the maximum number of leaves are 153 millimeter long? So you can see here, what is the question asked? The maximum number of leaves are 12 and the length of the leaves is 145 to 153. So the question asks, can you conclude that the maximum number of leaves are 153 millimeter long? No. Why? Because these leaves have got a reading between 144.5 to 153.5, but you cannot say for sure that it is 153. You cannot do that. Question, what is the question asked? That the maximum number of leaves are 153 millimeter long. You cannot say that for surety. Why? The measurement of the leaf can be anywhere between 144 to 153. So the third answer is false. You cannot do that because the length can be anything in between. In this question, you are given two sections. So a class has got two sections, section A and section B. A test is taken of 50 marks. For both the class, a test is taken of 50 marks and the data is represented like this. In the section A, 3 students are getting between 0 and 10 marks, 9 students are getting between 10 and 20, 17 students between 20 and 30, 12 students between 30 and 40, and 9 students between 40 and 50. In the section B, 5 students are getting between 0 and 10, 19 students between 10 and 20, 15 students between 20 and 30, 10 students between 30 and 40, and 1 student between 40 and 50. Now they have told you, the question says, draw the frequency polygon, both these polygons in the same chart, and then compare and say which classes perform better. So for the frequency polygon, first we'll check, is the data continuous? 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, it is continuous. So in both the cases the data is continuous, so there is no adjustment to be done. So we can directly start to draw this. We draw the y-axis line, the x-axis. On the x-axis what do we have? We have the marks. Okay, so we will begin from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I am writing a 60 extra, but the marks are only till 50. Right? And the number of students, the frequency, the maximum is 90. So you can even write 1, 2, 3, 4 or 2, 4, whatever. So we'll write with, I'll write this in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So you can write with 1 or 2, whatever. So what is the scale here? Scale y-axis 1 centimeter equal to 2 students. So 1 centimeter I have taken 2 students. So I have taken 2, you can take 1, the choice lies with you. If it is not mentioned, then you can take whatever you want. Now how do we find the frequency? Polygon, right? So we can do the frequency polygon after drawing the histogram, but here we will try to make the frequency polygon without drawing the histogram. Okay. So what is the midpoint of 0 and 10? The midpoint of 0 and 10 is 5. And what is the frequency corresponding to 5, 3? So first I go between 0 and 10, the midpoint is 10, but what is the height? The height is 3. So I will get this point. See how I got this point. I take the midpoint of the 0 and 10, the midpoint is 5, but the frequency is 3, so the height of 3. And here the frequency is 5. So I will use a different pen. So what is the midpoint? 0 and 5. Between 0 and 10, the midpoint is 5. Frequency by 0.5, I get 5. Okay. Now let me first draw for this one. What is the midpoint of 10 and 20? What comes between 10 and 20? 10 plus 20 is 30. 30 divided by 2 is 15. So I take the midpoint of 10 and 20. The midpoint is in the middle, 15. And the frequency is 9. So frequency I get here, 9. Then between 20 and 30, the midpoint is 25. Frequency 70. Frequency is 17. So 17 is somewhere here. Then I get between 30 and 40, that is 35, frequency 12. 30 and 40, frequency 12. And between 40 and 50, the frequency is 45. What is the class 40 to 50? Midpoint is 45, frequency is 9. So I get a 9. Right? But when I join this points, okay, the graph is not complete. You can see the graph is open. So what I do, before 0, if this is 0.5, I have to go beyond it and take the midpoint of this. So this is minus 10. So here I take the midpoint and complete the graph. And here between 50 and 60 comes 55. So I will complete 55 and finish this graph. So this is the frequency polygon I get for this data, which I showed by red. Now I will show the other polygon by different color, black. Or I can do one thing, I can show it by the same way, but I can draw dotted line. So I will show you how it is done. We got 5. From this we have got 19. So 19 is over here. Then we got 15. So 30 is 14. 15 between 14 and 16. Then we got 10. So between 40 and 50, there was 12. We have got 10. So 10 is over here. And between 40 and 50, there is only 1. So 1 is over there. Then 9, there is 1. Now what I can do, I can show by a different colored pen, say black pen, or I can use dotted line this time. this point I use dotted line. So I know that both the graphs are different. Okay? Or I can use a different colored pen. You choose what you want to do. But still we are not done. We have to complete the area. So I join this here and this will be joined here. Okay. Now you saw both the graphs. Okay, if you cannot see, I will draw with a black pen to make it easier. What we have said, 0 to 10 midpoint is 5. But to complete I have to go into the previous class. So what is the previous class? This will be 0 and this will be minus 10. So 0 to minus 10, midpoint is minus 5. And here I will go 50 to 60. So midpoint is 55. So I start from here. So this. Okay. Now you can see both these graphs. Whose do you think area is bigger? Look in the graph and see whose area looks bigger to you. Okay? The area with the bigger graph should give us the answer or no? We have to compare which class has done better. Now how do you see from the frequency polygon which class has performed better? Which can you say has performed much better? Can you say which class has done much better? We can say that section B has done marginally better than section A. Section A there are more toppers. You can see between 40 and 50 there are 9 students. But on an average, class B, section B has done slightly better than section A. Okay. In this sum we are given the age in years and the number of children. So the survey is taken. There are 5 children between 1 or 2 years of age, 3 children between 2 and 3 years of age, 6 children between 3 to 5 years of age, and so on. And we have to draw a histogram. Okay? So when we talk of a histogram, we have to first see is the data continuous or not. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 10. So there is no gap. 2 continues with 2, 3 with 3, 5 with 5, 7, 7, 10, 15. So there is no gap here. So the data is a continuous data. So that is the first part done. But we have to see the width. Is the histogram a width, equal width or varying width? 1 to 2 has got a width of 1 only because 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. 5 minus 3 is 2. 7 minus 5 is 2. 10 minus 7 is 3. 15 minus 10 is 5. And 17 minus 15 is 2. You can see the width is varying. Now when the width is varying, what will you do? If the width is varying, we cannot consider this frequency the true frequency. We saw in the previous lecture. What did we notice in the previous lecture? When the width is varying, then the frequency is not the true frequency. So we cannot draw the height, we cannot draw this height. The length of the rectangle, the height which we are going to draw cannot be this. Why it cannot be this? Because the width is varying. So the data is incorrect. So we have to correct the length of the rectangle or the height. You can say the height or the length is to be corrected. So we'll use the word height of rectangle, or you can use the word length of the rectangle needs to be corrected. So now first we'll choose what is the width we want to keep. The same width. So we'll go for the width of 1 only. So here the width is 1. So this will remain 5. The width is 3. This will remain 2. Now here the width is 2. So I want to break it into 1. So if the width is 2, the height is 6. So if the width is 1, the height should be 6 by 2 into 1. So the height should be 3. So what does it show you? When the width is 2, okay, when the width is 2, you have got the height of 6, but that is not true. To keep the height of 6 and the width of 1, we have to keep the height 3. Why? Why we need to do this? Because the area of the rectangle should remain the same. Now here also is the width of 2. So 12 upon 2 into 1 gives us 6. We have to make the height 6. Then here the width is 3. So 9 upon 3 into 1 gives us 3. Here it is 5. So 10 upon 5 into 1 gives us 2, and this is 4, the gap of 2. So 4 upon 2 into 1 gives us 2. So here we have done what needs to be done. And now we will move on to drawing the histogram. So the histogram, on the x-axis what you have got? The age in years. So age, right, in years. Age comes to 70. So I can do that. I can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. If this does not fit, what you can do if this does not fit? You can go into 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or you can make your graph paper vertical, or yes, the paper which is vertical, you can make it horizontal and do it the way you want. Now we will go by the height. So what is the maximum height? Now you can see is 6. So we can take the height, y-axis, the scale on the y-axis, 1 centimeter equal to what? 1 child. So 1 centimeter is 1 child. So we'll go now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm writing one extra. Okay. Now between 1 to 2, the width is 1, 5 is the height. So in between we'll keep 5 is the height. Then 2 to 3 is the height. So from 2 to, this is not 0 to 1, it is from 1 to 2. So from 1 to 2, this should be the height. From 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, the height is 3. Okay. Now 3 to 5, a gap of 2. 3 to 5, the height is 3. So from 3 to 5, you can see the width has varied. We went from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, but 3 to 5. Then 5 to 7, the height is 6. The height is 6 from 5 to 7. Then 7 to 10, the height is 3. From 7 to 10 till 10, the height is 3. Then from 10 to 15, the height is 2. From 10 to 15, the height is 2. And from 15 to 17, the height is 2 again. 15 to 17, the height is 2. So you can see this is a histogram of varying width. So what you have to do in the histogram, first check whether it is continuous data. So this is continuous, the number of children. But when you are told to draw the histogram, the first thing is check the width. 2 minus 1, 1, 3 minus 2, 1, 5 minus 3, 2, 7 minus 5, 2, 10 minus 7, 3, 15 minus 10, 5. So this is varying width. Now because the width is varying, this is not the true frequency. So we'll calculate the true frequency, but we'll check the width. We have decided we'll keep the width 1. Okay, not for the drawing, but for the comparison. So width 1, 5 remains 5, width 1 remains 3. So for width 2, the frequency is 6. So for width 1, it is how much? So you cross multiply, you get your answer 3. We write like this. For width 2, the frequency is 12. So for width 1, the frequency is how much? When you cross multiply, you get 6. So you got your new frequency 5, 3, 3, 6, 3, 2, 2. And now you go by the width. From 1 to 2, you have taken 5. From 2 to 3, you have taken 3. Now from 3 to 5, a jump of 2, but the height remains 3. And this is the histogram with a varying width. So you have to always remember that while doing the histogram of varying width, you have to alter this frequency, change it, and then you have to draw the graph according to the new height. So this is the practice of the graphs. Yes, we have covered all the 3 types of graph today. Which ones? The bar graph, the histogram of equal width, the histogram of varying width, and the frequency polygon. So now do the exercise and practice as many sums as you can. We are going to end here. Thank you.